Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX. Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Boom, and we're live. What's happening, people? Good morning, America, and welcome everyone to our live stream. Happy 1st of December, people. How you guys doing? Let me know how you're doing. Type your questions, type your comments, and I'll do my best to help. Here's what's happening in the markets today, 1st of December 2020. Only 3 weeks left till Christmas, guys. U.S. stocks are seen opening higher today, continuing November's record-breaking gains. OPEC fails to agree on output policy for next year. Gold futures rally today, trading above the $1,800 mark for the first time this week. And Bitcoin, guys, the new market's favorite, exhibits tantrums today with an aggressive whipsaw movement when it was about to reach the all-time high once again. And in case you missed the announcement, guys, we are broadcasting on our new YouTube channel as well. You can find the link in the description down below if you like what you see. Like, share, subscribe, and support us in delivering more great content. This show is proudly sponsored by our partners at Markets.com. U.S. markets open, coming up. Good morning once again, lovely people. Busy day in the economic calendar today with lots of announcements from the Eurozone and plenty of opportunities for traders. The euro traded higher today after the German unemployment data came out better than expected. And despite the weak CPI data, the euro pushed higher like a brave soldier today. I wish I could say the same about the British pound, which traded lower today, testing the 200 moving average to the downside, even though this morning the manufacturing PMI data announced came out in green, but the pressure of Brexit negotiations seemed to be spooking investors for now. Let's have a quick look at the economic calendar, guys, and see what's happening in the markets today, 1st of December, 2020. There's the economic calendar. We started the day nice and early with a series of announcements in the Eurozone. Swiss franc and the GBP were announced just before 9 o'clock this morning. We had the nationwide HPI year-over-year and monthly coming out on the pound this morning. They both came out positive, way above consensus expectations. But the pound still shed a bit of profits on the European trading session today. We continued with the Spanish manufacturing PMI, which came out less than consensus have predicted. We had the Italian manufacturing PMI as well, which as well came out lower than consensus have predicted, but the French manufacturing PMI came out positive. Then we had good news from Germany, guys, again in the Eurozone at 10:55 GMT plus 2 this morning, with the unemployment rate coming out at 6.1%, 2 points lower than what economists have predicted at 6.3%. Manufacturing PMI data also for November came out in green, showed a bit of positivity in the Eurozone, as well as the manufacturing PMI data on the pound. We had the OPEC meeting today, which unfortunately couldn't be agreed on the output. They're going to continue the talks on Thursday, guys, so the volatility is not gone. Now, lunchtime today, we had the core CPI year-over-year and month over month in the Eurozone, 0.2% versus an expectation of 0.2%, or a previous of 0.2% for the Euro. And the data for November came out a negative 0.3% versus just an expectation of a negative 0.2% from consensus. Canada got hit hard, guys, with a GDP annualized for the third quarter coming out at only 40.5% versus an expectation of at least 47.6. Big shake-off for the Canadian dollar. We also had the GDP coming out negative, and the GDP year over year and the one for the third quarter, again, they came out in red, way below consensus expectations. We're going to have manufacturing PMI on the US dollar announced in 18 minutes from now, followed by a testimony of Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, testifying today in Washington, D.C. ISM manufacturing employment also eyed in the next 33 minutes. The ECB President Christine Lagarde will start a press conference at 7 o'clock GMT plus 2, followed by FOMC member Daly holding a press conference and the API crude oil stock data. Let's not forget, guys, we're only 1 day ahead of the crude oil inventories. So the API weekly crude oil stock today is very, very important. It might give us a hint on what's going to happen tomorrow. Right. This being said, let's have a quick look at a couple of interesting articles. Let's start with the top 5 things to know in the markets today. Give me a second. Let me kill this pop-up. There we go. So, number 1 on the board, guys. Powell, Mnuchin in Congress to explain their spat. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin will update Congress from 10 a.m. Eastern Time onward. It's their first joint testimony since Mnuchin refused to extend the authority for 4 lending programs that the Fed says are still needed to support the economy throughout the pandemic. Neither Powell or Mnuchin made any reference to their public dispute over the issue in prepared remarks, but are certain to be questioned about it later. This is very important as during the Q&A session, guys, that Jerome Powell and Mnuchin will have, at the end of the press conference, extreme volatility is expected during the Q&A because reporters will ask them a series of questions, and depending on how long it takes them to think about the answers or what sort of answers will they provide, that's when traders will react and the markets will react as well. Now, concerns about the economy revived late on Monday after California Governor Gavin Newsom indicated he may have to issue a new stay-at-home order to stem a growing crisis in the state's hospitals. Away from Congress, Fed board member Lyle Brainard, tipped by some to succeed Powell as federal chairman, will also speak at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. On the data calendar, meanwhile, there are Redbook research data due at 8:55 a.m. Eastern Time and the ISM manufacturing survey at 10 a.m. This is the data I was telling you about. Right, let's have a look at number 2 on the board. I think this is one of the first times when Bitcoin is not at the end of the announcements. It's not number 5. Today we see Bitcoin at number 2, which means it's very, very important. Bitcoin hits all-time highs as dollar languishes. Whether or not Congress asks Powell and Mnuchin about it, the markets continue to give their verdict on their stewardship of the currency. Bitcoin hit an all-time high again today as last week's shock sell-off was taken as a dip to buy. The digital currency stopped just short of the 20,000 mark at $19,951, but remains supported by a growing number of speculators willing to dip a toe in the water. By 6:15 a.m. Eastern Time, it had retraced to 19,926, which is still up 7.6% for the day. The dollar index, on the other hand, which tracks the greenback against a basket of currencies, continues to languish near a 30-month low at 91.78, edging lower against both riskier and heaven peers. Number 3 on the board, guys, stocks are set to open at new records today. U.S. stock markets are set to open sharply higher, testing new record highs on growing optimism that vaccines to treat COVID-19 will be available sooner rather than later. Pfizer and BioNTech said earlier today that they have filed for their application and they're waiting for a response from the EU regulators. Now at 6:15 a.m., Dow Jones futures were up 347 points, guys. Wow, or 1.2%, while the S&P futures contract was up only 1.1%, and the Nasdaq futures as well up 0.9%. Right, very, very good. Let's have a look at number 4 on the board, guys. Europe shows the strain of lockdown. The European manufacturing sector held up fractionally better than expected in November, amid a second wave of lockdowns to contain the COVID. The Eurozone manufacturing PMI actually rose to 53.8 from 53.6, defying expectations of a drop, although nation indices for Germany and Spain both fell. Unlike the spring, all major European economies have kept their factories open this time around, leaving the strain of lockdowns to fall solely on services. PMIs for those and the composite Eurozone PMI will also be announced. Right, and number 5 on the board, guys. Last but not the least, OPEC. OPEC fails to agree on output. OPEC failed to agree on an output policy for the next few months after the United Arab Emirates, with the apparent backing of non-member Russia, argued that the bloc should raise output by 500,000 barrels a day as of January 1st. This will probably, again, oversupply the markets, guys. And if there's little to no demand on the markets, where is oil price going to go? Most likely downwards. The consensus expectation fostered ahead of time by the bloc's most powerful member, Saudi Arabia, had been that output would be frozen at current levels for another 3 months. Thank you, Saudi Arabia, for that. OPEC has given itself another 2 days to trash the issue out before making a final decision with Russia and others on Thursday. So on Thursday, guys, all eyes on oil. Once the news comes out, we're going to see some volatility in the markets. Now, the question, are you ready for the charts of the day and the signals of the day? Good. We're coming back live in 30 seconds with the charts of the days, guys. Stay tuned.
Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Right, and we're back with the charts of the day, guys. Check this out. We're going to start with crude oil as usual. Crude oil futures on a 60-minute chart. Currently trading at 45.03. If you look at the charts closely, guys, you can see crude oil going sideways since the 26th. Yeah, since the 26th. For the last 4 days, crude oil is trading sideways. $1 up, $1 down. Currently 45.02. RSI stochastic turned around, pointing towards the downside. We might see a retest of the 200 MA towards the downside from crude oil. Now, moving on to the most traded currency pair in the world, guys, the Euro USD, currently trading at 119.82. We saw a very good performance for the euro today. The price is still well supported by all 3 moving averages. As we speak right now, we see a tiny correction starting, which is normal. But as long as the euro keeps creating higher highs and higher lows, that means very likely we'll stay in an uptrend. If we look at the bottom of the chart, guys, we can see the RSI and stochastic turning around from the overbought levels. So we might see a retest of at least the 50 MA towards the 119.57 level. This is it. This is it from the Euro USD. Let's have a quick look at the pound, guys, which shed a bit of gains today on the European trading session. It only started recovering in the last hour or so. It tested the 200 moving average to the downside a couple of times. Apparently now it's heading towards that 200 moving average as well. 133.35 for GBP USD. 133.22 is where the 200 moving average is on the downside, only a few points away from the current market price. Very, very interesting what's going to happen once that level is reached. Will we see a correction? Will we see a U-turn in the pound, targeting the 133.80 once again for today, or will the pound break the 200 moving average towards the downside? We see RSI stochastic pointing downwards, which means a bit of selling power on the pound today. Let's move on to USD JPY, guys, which, wow, okay. We are 4 minutes into the US trading session. We saw a positive opening for the dollar today, 104.48 for USD JPY as things stand right now. We see a gold cross in the right-hand side of the chart, guys, that was just formed, which usually indicates a bit of buying power on the market. Very good performance for the US dollar today, but don't jump the gun, guys. We're going to have Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell testifying very, very soon. So all this positivity that you see at the opening right now might turn into the negative side as soon as Chairman Jerome Powell starts testifying. AUD USD, guys, is trading at 0.7344, and we can see it testing the 200 moving average as we speak, with the RSI and stochastic again turning around and pointing to a lower trajectory for the Aussie dollar today, at least for now. That's how things stand right now. Let's move on to USD CAD, which traded lower today the entire day, 129.62 as things stand right now, with the RSI stochastic pointing upwards. Very important, we might see a retest of the 200 moving average to the upside at 133.16 by the USD CAD. We can see a higher low. We can see RSI stochastic turning around from the 50% mark. That usually indicates a bit of buying power on the market. So don't be surprised if the US dollar will test the 130.16 today, that 200 moving average. Let's have a quick look at, wow, what a nice opening for the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, guys. There we go. Very nice opening, positive opening. They both opened to the upside, creating record highs. Very well done, S&P and Dow Jones. Let's see how that will continue. Moving on, guys, we have the US dollar index, which looks very similar to the USD CAD pair. 91.72 for the US dollar index right now. After it traded lower most of the day, we can see it retesting the 20 MA. And again, we might see the US dollar index retesting the 200 moving average to the upside at 92.12. RSI stochastic, they both turned around, pointing upwards. We might see a bit of buying power on the dollar, which can only mean one thing. Gold futures will trade lower, guys. There we go. This is what we expect from the US dollar, basically, a retest. This is how a retest of that 200 moving average looks like. Yeah, and as things stand right now, we can see gold price being rejected by that 200 moving average. 18.11 for gold futures right now. The price, as I said, is rejected. We can see the RSI and stochastic turning around from the overbought levels, pushing the price down, pushing the gold price towards the 1792. Somewhere there in that region, we're going to see gold dropping if this thing continues and if the US dollar keeps trading higher today. Light crude or Brent, Brent oil futures, guys, my bad. 47.70 for Brent oil futures. On a 60-minute chart, we see the RSI and stochastic turning around, and that 200 moving average at 46.61 leaves a big question mark. What's going to happen? Are we going to see a shake-off? Will oil price test that 200 MA to the downside? Let's see what's going to happen. The most probable direction for now is yes, but let's see what the trading signals from investing.com will tell us. And the Bitcoin, guys, everyone's favorite, the heavyweight champion that today exhibited a lot of tantrums. It almost reached the $20,000 mark, the all-time high once again, and it decided to come down and test the 50 moving average and shake off everyone with this whipsaw movement. Currently, Bitcoin is trading at 19,200 with great potential to the upside, with the RSI stochastic turning around from the oversold levels, giving traders a bit of hope that Bitcoin, the almighty, will reach $20,000 once again. The question remains, where do we take it from there? What's going to be the next take profit level above 20,000? Stay with us and we will all find out together as we're going into uncharted territories. $600 on the dot for Ethereum, guys, on a 60-minute chart. Again, Ethereum, just like Bitcoin, showed some tantrums today with another whipsaw movement. Ethereum pushed as high as $628.62 3-4 hours ago. After that, we saw a massive drop to $577, almost $100 drop. Again, a retest somewhere in between the 50 and the 200 MA to the downside. And in the last couple of hours, we see Ethereum futures pushing a bit higher, just like Bitcoin. Probably they are driven by Bitcoin's performance. Let's have a quick look at some trading signals, guys, provided by investing.com. If you want to find out more trading signals, guys, remember our partners, markets.com. They have an amazing user-friendly trading platform with tons of trading signals every day. So just open a demo account with them, have a look at the trading signals, and if you like it, you know what you have to do. Let's have a quick look at the trading signals provided by investing.com today. We see Euro USD in a strong buy on all 4 time frames, 4 green on Euro USD. That was the direction for the day, and 10 minutes into the US opening, we can see the euro keeping the direction. So strong buy on all 4 time frames. On the other hand, the pound, the GBP USD pair, we can see green on the charts, but not as clear as the signals on the Euro USD. A buy and a strong buy on a 5-minute and 15-minute charts for the pound, and the daily remains a strong buy, which is good. The USD JPY, strong buy on 3 time frames. The daily is neutral. USD CHF, strong sell. Strong sell, strong sell. 4 red, all 4 time frames indicate a strong sell on USD CHF. USD CAD, guys, strong sell on all 4 time frames. The Kiwi dollar versus the US dollar, strong buy. So at least for now, by the looks of things, USD CAD and USD CHF are set to trade lower, at least according to investing.com. The Kiwi dollar is set to trade higher versus the US dollar. Euro JPY, 4 green, 4 strong buy on all 4 time frames. The GBP versus the JPY, guys, very important, strong buy on all 4 time frames. Quick look at commodities. There we go. Okay, we get a bit of direction from the markets. Just let me kill these pop-ups, man. All right, there we go. Gold and silver, strong buy on the first 3 time frames. The daily is neutral on silver and remains a strong sell on gold. So we might see gold pushing higher. Once again, it's either that or the signals have not changed. Let's have a quick look at gold charts, guys. Right, okay, yes. So gold might push through that 200 moving average. It's at a key level right now. If it manages to push above the 200 MA and settle, and we're going to see the candlesticks settling above that 200 MA, then very likely we're going to see gold doing really, really well overnight and tomorrow. Crude oil, WTI, and Brent oil, we have strong sell on 5 minutes and 15 minutes charts with the daily still remaining a strong buy. Natural gas, again, strong sell 15 minutes into the US Open. And US wheat, guys, 4 red on US wheat, 4 strong sell positions on all time frames. This is what's happening with the markets today, guys. This is what's happening. It's 1st of December. We're only 3 weeks away from Christmas, 4 weeks away from year end. How many of you want 2020 to be over? Type your comments. Let me know. Right. This is it from my side today, guys. Join me again tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock GMT +2 for another round of market talks for the European markets open. Until then, remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money.